which is a sold-out collection, and that is benefiting the Mayan community here in Calakmul, creo que se dice. Calakmul, gracias.
That's in Chiapas, right? No, it's in La It's right in like when you come out from the Campeche, Campeche, the line between Campeche, Quintana Roo, and yeah, like
So this is a collection of NFTs that benefits the community that is in Campeche, Calakmul, and yeah, we're really excited to have you here. Primero sería bueno si nos hablas un poco de cómo vino esa colección, de qué fue la inspiración y cómo llegaron a tener tantos éxitos.
Claro, muchas gracias por la invitación hoy. Tulum es un lugar muy querido en mi corazón igual. Crecí en Playa del Carmen.
Wow.
Entonces, that's where I grew up, near Cancun. So, yeah, Maya Spirits was formed, I would say, last summer. In the June, July, that's when we started having the idea, and thanks to support from Co-Green, which is a non-profit organization that supports other women, they guided us with the beginning of what Maya Spirits what we wanted to be. So yeah, I was just brainstorming the whole summer, just writing notes on my iPhone and just checking how I can make something out of this, and because I noticed there was a niche missing in the space, which was good values and also NFTs with real utility. So that's when I contacted Lorenzo, who's a doctor in Mexico City, but he also has his own non-profit organization called Integritat. He's been hosting events for these children that were supporting Calakmul for over 7 years, and he invited me to one. And from going to one of the events, which was specifically an art event, that's when it finally got to me that I was going to use the art made from the children as an inspiration for the art of the NFT. So each NFT represents drawings from the children that we're supporting, which is a really cool idea. So that's when it started, and yeah, that's when we.
¿Nos puedes contar igual en español cómo vino la inspiración y el comienzo de la colección?
Sí, hola, buenas. Sí, claro. Todo el verano estaba pensando en cómo hacer algo en el espacio diferente y me di cuenta que faltaba NFTs que tengan de verdad utilidad. Entonces, ya de ahí me guío Code Green, que ayudan a Wonder Woman con su parte filantrópica, y me invitaron a un evento de una organización sin un NPO, un non-profit en Calakmul, y me di cuenta que después de hacer un evento de arte con los chicos, me di cuenta que su creatividad y su talento es mucho mejor que cualquiera de nosotros. Entonces, quise compartir eso al mundo y ahí fue cuando me llegó la idea de crear un NFT. El NFT está inspirado con arte que de verdad hizo los niños que estamos apoyando. Entonces, cada trait, cada tipo de figura que hay en la colección está hecho con la creatividad de los niños.
¿Y ellos dibujaron, fueron la base para el arte? Entonces, sus dibujos.
¿Perdón?
Sus dibujos fueron parte de la inspiración para el arte.
Fue 100% ellos, sí.
Ah, wow.
Hicieron como 200 dibujos, como le dijimos, dibujen animales que están por Calakmul y que creen que representa la cultura maya. Entonces nos dibujaron jaguares, búhos, monos, y hay muchas fotos, y también en nuestros videos que salen en internet, sale de hecho cómo los niños dibujaron estos animales y los convertimos en NFTs.
Wow, amazing. So the art was inspired by the art of the children, y tiene también bastante de la cultura y historia maya que están como haciendo aprendimiento de eso, ¿no?
Sí, este es un proyecto para cuidar la selva, pero también es un cambio social. Estamos apoyando a las mujeres que están en Calakmul. Estamos todos muy de acuerdo que el machismo y las oportunidades para las mujeres en familias no tan afortunadas a veces ni educación tienen de primaria. Entonces, nuestra prioridad es darles esa oportunidad con unos programas que nos dio, se llama K-Notion, que está considerado como el mejor programa educativo de Latinoamérica por el presidente de educación de Apple. Logramos darle esta educación a las madres con mostrarles cómo comunicarse, cómo hacer matemáticas, cómo eh, saber cómo cultivar. Entonces ya de ahí, como Lorenzo es un científico, nos dio acceso a sus patentes para mostrarle a las madres cómo obtener su propia economía sustentable. Entonces, para que ya dejen de depender de los hombres, les estamos enseñando cómo crear miel, aceite de coco, proteína a través de hongos, y ya de ahí nosotros las vamos a apoyar para venderlo al mercado. Entonces, esto crea una economía sustentable donde la madre trabaja, el padre trabaja, el niño recibe una educación y la jungla se conserva. Entonces es todo planeado. Y lo otro que está muy padre es que estamos conservando, bueno, queremos llegar a 4.000 hectáreas de jungla en conservación. Estamos, creo que ya en 200 hectáreas, porque es un progreso continuo. Tienes que tú mostrarle lealtad y compromiso a la comunidad de Calakmul para que ellos tengan el acceso poco a poco de la jungla. Entonces, por cada familia que apoyemos, son creo que 20 hectáreas en conservación. Entonces ya llevamos, pues ya muchos. Sí.
Sí,
Y queremos llegar a 4.000.
¿puedes
Eh,
traducir en inglés el beneficio que le estás dando a la comunidad también?
sí. Our main goal was to create a sustainable economy where we managed to support the mothers with providing them an education, with the very basics of life, such as just communicating. First of all, when we arrived, I used to speak with some of them, and they didn't know how to speak. Unfortunately, it was really sad. So that was one big pillar that we wanted to fix. So it was communication, maths, um, how to cultivate, and we believe it was geography of the area of where they live in, because they weren't aware of where they were at, which was very surprising. So from there, we offered them one of the best educational programs in Latin America called K-Notion, and it's been a success so far. We've seen a lot of progress. We're starting to introduce the mothers to how they can create their own jobs through honey creation, through utilizing mushrooms or fungus for protein, and coconut oil. So with these three things, we're going to help them commercialize it into the other communities around Campeche, for them to have an income, and then from there create a sustainable economy so that no one's dependent on anyone. And we believe in less than 5 years, by educating them how to do all this properly, it will be self-sufficient, the entire community, which will be amazing.
Incredible. And you have a sold out collection. What kind of impact have you already been able to have on the community?
Yeah, it was crazy. We launched during the FTX announcement week, which was, as we know, one of the worst weeks in crypto, probably the worst in history. But we didn't stop. We said, you know what, we're going to launch anyways. We have nothing to hide. We want to make sure this happens for the families. So we raised 170 something Ethereum for the families. A lot. We raised over 200. But there were a lot of things we had to pay. So directly for the families as an MPO, it was 171, I believe. This was
Life changing, definitely.
And how it's allocated to the communities? Like, do you give them like just the project itself, like it develops, or you give them money, or how it does, like allocate?
To the community of Calakmul or to the Web3 community?
No, to the community and.
In Calakmul. Okay, so that it's a progressive way of giving them the funds. If we give them 170 Ethereum, which was like over 200 something $1,000, it would ruin the community. It wouldn't help them. It would be spent directly on drugs, on alcohol. There will be a lot of abuse. So as being mentioned, first of all, we're educating them through the platform of Knotion with the pillars of maths, finance, and how to make their own jobs. And what we're doing is that we're progressively on a monthly basis giving them a salary which will be lasting for, I believe, 5 years. So it's 5 years of giving them the money. It's actually going to be 34 years of impact of each family supported, which is amazing. So from there, from the 34 years of impact, we just need to make sure they're educated before giving them that much so quickly. So by also doing that, that's when they give us access to the lands to conserve. And actually, Campeche is one of the most important jungle in Latin America. I believe it's the second after the Amazon. So that's a really interesting fact. And it was from there, we became number 7 trending in the world, the NFT project in the world for 2 weeks in November. We became number 1 charitable NFT spotlight, which was really cool, on the OpenSea webpage. And then we became something in notable drops or something, which I don't really know how it works, but yeah, so that was really cool. The reception of everyone was really interesting. I wouldn't say it was amazing, because there's always a lot of things that we would have loved to call it perfect. I believe one of those things was 50% were in it for the good cause, 50% were in it for a flip. But that's normal in the NFT world. We have a lot of big names that supported us during the way. That's why we managed to sell out. So we were aware of these things happening. So many people weren't in it for the cause and tried to like change the narrative of the project. And instead of us adapting to what they want, we're going to adapt to prioritizing what Calakmul needs. So we really changed the narrative of the ecosystem. It was a big shock for a lot of people, saying you don't need to wake up checking up what your NFT is worth right now. You're gonna wake up checking how we just built a school for children in Calakmul. Of course, people don't have endless money. We're aware. So what we want to do is try and give back as much as possible for the people who contribute for this cause. So our 2 core values is contribution and growth. And contribution is when the people minted or buy on secondary, since 100% of royalties also go for the families. We provide growth to holders. That being with Lorenzo has 4 degrees from Harvard, with a lot of connections at MIT as well, and global leaders, and also the leader of innovation of Mexico. So a lot of nice connections there in terms of education, and growth is actually through education. So what we're doing is that we're providing to holders access to workshops that these specific experts or leaders will provide for the community. So it won't just be a course downloaded from the internet. We'll have live sessions with an expert. We have one with business development coming next week, I believe, with Fred Horinat, who has been at Amazon for 20 years. So since it was a startup. He's gonna talk about how he identified what a successful business looks like or could be in the future. So things like that is where we try and get the money worth from what people did. And by receiving personal growth, they also get to see the growth of a community that desperately needs it. So it's a perfect balance. It just took time for people to understand this is what we want to do. But now that most have understood that this is for good, we have a very happy community, I think, with like 2-3% listed out of 3,000. So I think we're in a good place right now.
¿Nos puedes repetir también en español cómo has estado beneficiando a la comunidad y también a los holders?
Sí, no queríamos hacer una donación cualquiera porque si no hubiéramos hecho un fundraise o algo así. Queríamos de una manera crear algo que sea divertido, pero también algo donde la gente que contribuye reciba algo a cambio. No lo queremos ver como una donación, sino una inversión en sí mismo y en otras familias. Entonces, esta inversión para sí mismo es gracias al otro fundador, que es doctor Lorenzo. Tiene 4 maestrías en Harvard y con muchos contactos en MIT y líderes globales en sustentabilidad y en finanzas. Entonces, lo que nosotros mostramos a través de nuestros 2 valores principales, que es contribución y crecimiento. Contribuciones a través de tú comprando el NFT y por tener el NFT recibes crecimiento a través de los workshops que damos a holders, que son, por ejemplo, la siguiente semana tenemos uno de negocios, donde uno de los fundadores de Amazon, no fundador, perdón, uno de los primeros que trabajaron en Amazon por ya más de 20 años, me va a explicar que vio en Amazon, cómo logró identificar que iba a ser un éxito, por qué se quedó. Entonces, historias así donde puedes aprender mucho de temas que te interesan. Y ahí es donde queremos regresarle el dinero a los que contribuyen a este caso. Y más que nada, sentirse parte de Calakmul. Eso es algo muy padre que estamos haciendo. Las familias ya están conociendo poco a poco a los que contribuyeron, con lista de los nombres, con fotos. Ya hay videos de los niños y así diciéndole gracias a la gente, porque lo que hicimos era, queremos que todo sea muy orgánico. Si lo forzamos o hacemos algo para que Web3 esté feliz, eh, no es ético. Entonces necesitamos asegurar que hacemos todo al paso y al ritmo de Calakmul. Y eso fue donde cambiamos la narrativa del mundo de Web3. La gente es muy viciosa, siempre quieren hacerse millones de dólares o pesos en días, como eso no se puede hacer. Y dijimos, mejor haz algo donde no tengas que despertar estresado o estresada viendo tu inversión, en algo que tú no puedes, sabes, cambiar. Mejor pon tu dinero en algo donde tú sabes 100% que vas a crecer como humano a través de educación y a la vez cambiando las vidas de niños y niñas que lo necesitan. Eh, Eso fue un cambio muy impactante para la gente porque les bajó mucho el ego. Yo he estado en el espacio por mucho tiempo. Tengo un CryptoPunk, ando en muchos proyectos de hace mucho y he visto que los valores no están donde deberían estar. Entonces queríamos cambiar eso, queríamos mejorar lo que se puede, ¿no? Con el tono de este mundo y, y lo ha recibido muy bien la comunidad. Les está gustando y es es un NFT donde cuando ves tu cartera te sientes bien en vez de, ¿por qué compré esto? Entonces, entonces, algo igual que está muy padre es que por tener un Maya Spirits te llegan airdrops de vez en cuando del progreso que está pasando. Entonces, la primera cosa que hicimos fue construir la primera escuela de Calakmul y,
La
y salió
primera,
la
no
primera.
la...
Había un campo de básquetbol y estudiaban ahí. Sí. Entonces,
¿Qué?
entonces ya de ahí creamos la escuela, instalamos computadoras y descargamos ya el Knotion para las mamás y, y recibieron todos un NFT gratis que dice Proof of Donation y sale la escuela, sale las mamás y así va, algo progresivo donde en vez de vender te gusta quedártelo porque tú ves el progreso de lo que tú estás haciendo. No, es que ni nos llamamos founders, solo decimos creador de ideas porque eh, al final es una contribución de todos y todo, para mí todos son founders en este proyecto.
No.
Qué increíble, me
Sí.
encanta.
¿Tienen preguntas para Liam?
Bueno, a mí me gustaría saber si están disponibles del 4 al 7 de mayo. No, de verdad, la verdad es que estaría increíble que vinieran a compartir pues lo que han hecho, lo que es el proyecto y pues este tipo de proyectos que verdaderamente tienen un impacto que van más allá. Me interesa muchísimo que sean visibilizados en el Crypto Fest. Entonces tenemos el Tulum Crypto Fest en mayo, eso, ¿no? Del 4 al 7. Entonces si tienen algún speaker que podría venir a presentar lo que ha sido el proyecto y todo lo que han hecho, me encantaría la verdad darles el espacio.
Muchas gracias por la invitación. Sí, estaría buenísimo. ¿Estás en contacto? A ver, ¿cómo se llama? Hay una señora que me habló.
¿Por qué no hablamos eso
Después.
después? Eso es una cosa logística. Hablamos del proyecto, pero preferimos hablar del proyecto.
Sí, después de un momento, pero bueno, me encantaría eso, ¿no? O sea, como darle ese espacio porque creo que es muy importante que se explique.
Pero ya. So let's talk more about the project. ¿Qué preguntas tienen del proyecto? ¿Cuántas familias están apoyando?
Entre 50 y 60.
A mí me gustaría saber dentro del proceso y de la transición de una cancha de básquetbol a una escuela, la parte de la educación, ¿qué fue lo más difícil que se encontraron?
Aceptar que no estaban en una situación buena. Estaban muy cómodos.
Entre su ignorancia.
Pero los que no estaban muy cómodos que no sabían hablar. Y a Jaira, que es la líder de... Hay como un comité y a Jaira representa a las madres. Y dijo, esta comunidad se va a acabar en menos de 20 años si no hacemos nada para el futuro, porque todos se van a ir y se va a destruir toda esta maravilla que tuvimos por muchos años. Entonces, Yajaira es la que tiene que comunicar las cosas con ellos, porque solo confían en ella. Y a Lorenzo. Lorenzo lleva 7 años apoyando a estas familias. Sí, con Maya Spirits solo ha sido un apoyo, ¿cómo se dice? Financiero, pero eso lo puede hacer cualquiera. Eh, para que de verdad acepten un apoyo de alguien, tienes que ser parte de la comunidad de Calakmul y eso es a través de 200 firmas. Entonces son 50 familias, son como 200 personas. Son 202 firmas que hicieron para invitar a Lorenzo para estar parte de la comunidad de Calakmul. Entonces él ya es parte de, creo que se llama Exponil o algo así. Y le tardó 7 años tener esa confianza en que lo apoyen. ¿Por qué? Porque luego llegan los políticos, hacen un evento cool y se van. Y ya tienen su contenido y se van. Entonces, pues no confían en nadie y está bien. Entonces, lo que tuvo que hacer Lorenzo es apoyar por 7 años, mostrar su confianza y, y ya que confiaron en él, ahí es cuando estábamos pensando nosotros cómo recaudar más finanzas para un impacto más grande. Entonces,
Talk a
pero
little bit about the challenges of bringing a project, an impact project like this to a community. What were some of the
Yeah.
challenges?
I would say the biggest problem was lack of awareness of their living situation. That some were very comfortable, but in the end, the ones who were comfortable, the ones who had a metal roof, didn't know how to communicate with other people, and yeah, it was a show of help in a very silent way because this is such a rural community. They actually have very big egos because they're very proud of their past. But unfortunately, political campaigns come over, even other communities will come and try to overtake these communities just to have more power. So the head of the mothers of this community called Yajaira is who's the one who told us that she desperately needs help and an educational center. That's the best way to put it. Not an educational center will be the best thing for the community. So that's what we did. 3 weeks after Mint, we converted everything into pesos. I don't remember how much it was, but it was It was over 6 million. And then from there, we built a school, conserved 100 acres, which is the first proof of donation and proof of integration. And then from there, it's just going to be a continuous journey where we go at the rhythm of what they want to do. We're not going to rush anyone to do anything. It's their home, it's their community. If they want help, we're here to help them. But we will never force something for the time lapse of what Web3 wants. So that was the biggest challenge. In Web3, you want everything so quickly because that's how you're used to it. You buy an NFT, you say, "Where's my return?" And in less than a month, if you don't get it, you're already kind of double thinking. This is years to come, and it's a project where it's very beautiful because we're showing by example what we're doing. We became the most impactful project in Mexico. Yeah, that was. I don't want to say it because I'm not sure, but I believe it's the one with the PFP, the biggest PFP project too, which means different profile picture ones. I don't believe I've seen another Mexican project in the top 10 trending. So that was a really proud moment for us, and we're happy to do this because in the end, we don't really care about recognition or status or being applauded. It's solely the mission. I think that's why it succeeded, because people are tired of just other people selling themselves out and why their art or NFT is the best in the world. Sorry for my language. People don't really give a shit what they really don't. Why? Because I don't. I've been in it for too long. It's always the same stuff. My art is different. You know, I'm gonna get this new token, and it's just a lot of repetitive stuff where I'm very happy that we're in a bear market. Of course, our money is down, but in the end, as a creator, it reduces the noise, and the quality is slowly starting to show. So yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah, and I would love to know, like, how is the way that you really listen to the community need? Like, how was the process for really saying, okay, what do you need, or how is that decision made of the school, for example?
From Yajaira. Yajaira is the one who guides us with. They have a community meetup every Friday or Saturday. It took Yajaira. She's the one who took 7 years to trust us. She's the only lady who has graduated high school in the entire community, and then she became a lawyer. So she really did become successful for herself, and she became a lawyer, and now she represents the entire community. So what we said is that we have this budget, we have this time lapse, and throughout this, feel free to do as you want. We will follow your needs, and then from there, Lorenzo is the one who double checks in terms of the jobs part and the financing part to make sure that the mothers are being educated on what we're trying to teach them.
Beautiful. En español, ¿quieres repetirlo?
Sí, que Yajaira es la líder de la comunidad y a través de ella es donde manejamos todas las decisiones en términos de lo que necesitan apoyo. Hay cosas muy obvias, pero hay cosas también más a detalle. Por ejemplo, una familia, es un ejemplo, tal vez uno de los niños está enfermo, nosotros pues estamos ahí para apoyarlos. Y ya de ahí, entonces ya que elegimos la cantidad de dinero que teníamos para apoyar la comunidad, ella decide a través de qué es lo más esencial, qué va después, y a través de eso Lorenzo lo verifica, checa bien los detalles y si está bien, pues así se hace.
No.
Por ejemplo, cuando uno que sí hicimos... Ah, perdón, se traba.
¿Cuántas hectáreas?
Y vamos a llegar a 4,000.
4,000 hectares.
Eso es a football field is 1. So it's like 4,000 football fields.
No, yeah, no, I know a little bit of measurements?
They have 21,000 hectares, this community.
It's 31,000.
No, they have 21,000 and they'll give us access to conserve 4,000 for now. So in terms of how much we support is how much they will allow us to conserve. So what they do is they basically give us access to the rights of use of their land. So instead of them destroying it and agriculture, what we decided is a mutual agreement of if we support you financially and teaching you how to do agriculture in the land that you've already cut down, let's conserve this land instead. And that way also the mine train doesn't go through, and it's going to be a win-win for nature and for society. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
you love like the project, the impact, and how can be replicated as well. You know, I think that's a success like case that we can really be replicating on all the rest of the communities that needs to be protected that way, and that needs to be also like implemented solutions, you know, for the community, whatever the needs are.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of having backup projects that have done it for people to see it and then for them to trust. The thing is, you do need a lot of experience in terms of what you're asking for for people to trust you. Lorenzo has over 42 patents created, a very well-known scientist in Mexico City, who has a lot of expertise in sustainable economies and MPOs. So we've seen many charitable projects in the past, but they don't really have the experience to manage that much money. It's not as easy as you think. We've had many projects that we've seen who've raised millions to support communities in Africa, and self-supporting, it kind of actually hurts them because they're not teaching them the right way of how to do things. So it matters a lot. It matters a lot, the expertise. And then from there, that's where me and Lorenzo combined. I don't have the experience that he has in MPOs and sustainable economies, but I have the experience of NFT projects and what's good and what's bad. So that's where we've joined together.
Nice.
Amazing. Otras preguntas or anything else that we should know about the Maya Spirits project? Is it there's still an ability to get an NFT? How can people still participate in the project? They have to go to the secondary market to buy?
Yeah, so we tried to find a way to make it continuous, the contribution back to Calakmul. So right now we're a full MPO. 100% of the royalties will go for Calakmul. Royalties is the percentage of the sale when you buy on secondary, that goes to our wallet. So every Maya Spirits that is bought, 7.5% of that sale will go for the families, which is really nice. So yeah, feel free to collect a few Maya Spirits on OpenSea. That's where you can find it. It's just Maya Spirits. There's a lot of scam accounts now, so just Maya Spirits. And yeah, feel free to collect a few and support the cause.
Amazing. I have one. Yo tengo una. Bueno, muchas gracias, Liam. Gracias por contarnos.
Gracias y
Encanta.
Y gracias por tu energía de organizar eso todo, ¿ah? Necesitamos más gente como tú. Creando una buena Web3 culture, you know, using it for the goods. We are the good guys.
Muchas gracias, chicas. Muy lindas, de verdad. Es que faltaba algo más positivo en el espacio. Entonces ya con eso. ¿Por dónde está el boutique?
Estamos aquí en Tulum, en la avenida Cobá, enfrente de Chedraui.
¿Recuerdas un hotel que se llama Oten? Que estaba por ahí.
Hotel.
¿No?
¿De qué?
Oten, o un lugar de hamburguesas.
Sí, no sé.
¿Hotel
Bueno,
o hotel?
Oten, O-T-E-N. Bueno, era durante COVID. Me quedé ahí como 6 meses y estaba enfrente del Chedraui. Bueno, estaba, ya cerró, pero.
Aquí estamos.
Conozco-
Wish también. Pero bueno, muchas gracias, Liam. Gracias por el proyecto. Thank you so
Nos
much.
vemos, chicas. Cuídense.
Learning about Maya Spirits. Okay.
Que ellos míranos en la pantalla.
Sorry, sorry, but
Ya.
nos vemos muy hot.
Muy cabrón, ¿no? No nos quites de la pantalla grande, nos encanta estar en la pantalla grande.
Ah, oh, quieren
Ellos
verse
nos
más,
encantan.
okay, quieren verse más, okay.
Claro.
Déjame subir la pierna y todo.
Okay.
Güey, sí nos vemos muy hot.
Wow. Ya.
Güey.
It's
Perfect timing, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you can like.
but super, I mean, I know this, but it seems super amazing what these guys do, no?
Oh, yeah.
I think I should, what is the name of this project?
Maya Spirits. They have a sold out collection in the middle of a bear market.
Yeah.
They're connected with Gary Vee and.
What? Let me give you a more look. Glad to be here. You. Please,
Well, we can make arrangement and like. Filling out and chat. You know,
I want to go to the south side for the ones. Come on, it's random, but it doesn't need to be right now, I don't know. We can hang out, we can chat.
Yeah, we can go to the bench around.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the office.
What office?
My office.
Next to the winner. También estás muy lejos.
Estamos en el barrio.
Ahorita, no sé.
No, gracias. Tengo como dolor de cabeza.
Oh, no.
Es que perdí mis lentes.
Oh.
Desde ayer estoy cortando la vista y ahorita ya la cabeza.
Claro.
Sí.
Okay, girls. We love you so much. We're going back to the office. Are you going to get married? I'd like to share something very ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, so because I have been working out a lot, so I have abs. And today I
It's
saw,
amazing.
yeah, but today I looked at myself in the mirror and my boob, like my small boobs are gone. Like now I have negative. Now you can also see
There's no negative.
it's gone. But I look myself like sideways and literally my body goes like this. And then. Yeah, exactly. And then I told my mother, just joke. My mother. And then I was a little bit, so I called like an like a lover in Portugal, you know? And he was like, yeah, whatever, you're like sexy, la 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 la, so I feel a little bit better. But it's very funny, I just felt the shock that my body is changing, you know, so it was a little bit traumatic. But yeah, I just wanted to share that.
But you get abs.
Yeah, now I get abs. And then I'm like working on it. When I have clothes on, you know, I'm sexy.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's making me profile and
Yeah.
I feel a little bit, you know, like less feminine in a sense.
No way.
Which is ridiculous that we associate like femininity to boobs.
Because we have our creation already. That's amazing.
Ahí tengo más galletas.
Tú me encanta.
Ahí está, mira.
Yo me corté el cabello hace unos días porque estaba de grande, no tengo más de que. No, lo tenía muy mal. Cuando me veías las puntas y decías, güey, qué pedo. Pero ya está más.
I need to do my
Yo
nails.
tengo que. Mi mamá.
Me too.
Ay, así, mira.
Es que claro, la mamá tiene que tener las uñas.
I'm gonna be at the office. I
Wow. Well, yeah. Wow.
tired. I love you.
You're gonna go to the office now? You're staying in office?
What are you gonna do in the office? I'm gonna work. Today I received an offer to do a project in Merida. It was really good. So I was analyzing the numbers. And I have all the windows. Like, I write on my windows. So I have all the windows in there. In the peak of the criteria. So I'm gonna work in that because tomorrow I have the meeting with them. It's a project that we can do quick, bunch of money. Beautiful. Look at that, it's like, no, but. My biggest partner liked it. So. I wanna finish with that. Don't also.
No, you wanna play? Aquí we even have us first, then we're like to, we're gonna hang out and, yeah. But other than to speak.
Love it, Mr. Nick.
Yeah.
You are.
We are. So it makes a good one.
No, we're not las luces. Las luces que pueden ir que apague. Ayer era una persona que me vino también. No, comencé a no pero me tomé algo inmediatamente.
¿Cuál es el nombre de ese chico? I'm in love with ChatGPT. Really, I'm so in love.
How many songs have you made now?
So many. And you need to give me the briefing of the crypto to confess like in the like even today, like I have really connections to a lot of Twitter spaces. Like today I was singing for IS Teller.
Did you sing that to be debuted the IS Teller?
Yeah, the song I
You
did.
did? Bravo.
Yeah, 15 followers on the music is like, if you want to catch people on Twitter, you do it with the music. That's why I want to create a jingle with that as well. I can either, if you give me like, if you trust me, you can either give me the credentials of Children Crypto Fest and I can sing through it, or I sing it through IS Seller, make it like reposting the Twitter.
In crypto, you could even just post the IS Teller through More Women in Crypto. I love that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Love you.
But yeah, this is really something that I want to do like a jingle, you know, like create the fest, like to don't create the fest, to don't create the fest, la 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 la. Like it's short, you know, it's not like a whole song, but it's not very exactly, exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. What is the name again of this working for?
Maya
Maya Spirits NFT. Qué bueno.
Sí, eso, ahorita la diseñadora está aquí. La que está aquí o llega mañana, se va a casar. Estamos invitados a la una.
Ah.
Sí. Sí, está muy lindo, sí. Y también vamos a tratar de ver si podemos organizar un cumpleaños y aguantes, porque esa colección no podía ser aguantes. Es que tiene román.
¿Por qué? Porque si está bien caro todo el verdad. Imagínate darle comer muy bien.
Por eso tenemos que.
Imagínate cuánto cuesta comer tus cuadritos.
Imagínate cuánto cuesta.
Mínimo, pollo jodido. Jodido pollo. Con pollo que te hago nada. No comen muchísimo.
No sé, quiero ir conmigo.
Ah, sí.
Y ya puedo no grabar, ¿no? Pero terminamos de grabar. Porque tenemos
Estamos, sí, lo estamos. Muy bien. Vamos para allá, ganamos el concurso de belleza.
Sí.
¿Qué tal les dije el concurso de belleza? Le dijeron que no. Que no, se ríen, pero es que no les enseñé el video, ¿no? Ya le hablé yo a la morra y le dije que, pero tienes que pagar, para estar bien vamos a pagar por esta fiesta. Ah, tienes que pagar.